Hello, this is Jeff Robb from G4GR Resources in Houston, and today we're going to do another video on just how to back up your jobs and settings and format a CS20. This may also applicable to a TS13, 16, or MS60, and it's recommended before loading firmware, but also is recommended to do on a routine basis once or twice a year just to make sure the CS20 is running at optimal efficiency. Okay, all right. So this is actually there's a new firmware version. Like if you're past 8.3, there's an option there to back up. There's a nice backup feature, and then after we format, all your settings should come back to where it was. So I kind of call this video 3 of 2. So it's really a revision add-on to the previous videos. So we take a look. These are the previous videos we had. How to format CS20. So if you're running version 8. Or under 8.3, the older version like version 7 or 6, just refer to this video. There's also an older video on backing up jobs. We'll go over that in this one as well. But it had like 4,000 views, so I didn't want to delete it because it's still a resource to people. So once again, I just wanted to highlight these support videos as well. So once again, the need to format a CS20, if you're going to load firmware, it's good just to format it, get on a clean slate. Once again, I want to back up all the jobs and the settings before we do that because we'll lose everything. And once again, it's good to do it every 6 to 12 months just to flush everything out. It's almost like an oil change for your truck. Keep it working efficiently. Okay. So, and with the new firmware, it's fairly easy to do. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to back up some jobs. What I did, we're also going to load a license key for loading firmware, back up the jobs and the settings. And the first video will go over the old way of doing it. And I highlighted here because I hit the function and this Windows, and that's how you get to the Windows screen. You can't see it while I'm filming the CS20. And also when I screenshot at the settings, you hit function and the camera, the green icon above here is a screenshot. So I just wanted to point these out. And once again, we're going to use an SD card to back up the data. You can have a USB, and typically you'll have a USB put in that case with all the settings backed up. Okay.
Okay, we have the CS20, and the first thing we're going to do is we've loaded the license key onto the SD card. So if I go to Settings, Tools, then you see Load License Key, and then we just say from the SD card. And this will load the license key from my world because we're going to upload the firmware. If I go to Settings, then go to About Captivate, then we'll page over. And then we can see under Leica Captivate tab, the third one over, we're on 3.7. And now the CCP end date has been updated, so this means we can update to the latest firmware. We're going to update from version 3 to version 4 and step up in one increment firmware versions. Okay, so before we do that, we want to back up all our settings and job files. So what I can do is I can hit Function, Windows. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'll go to my device up here in Windows, under Leica Geosystems, Leica Captivate, and underneath Data. These are all the files that we have backed up to the internal memory. I can highlight those, or I'll highlight everything, then hit Edit, and copy. Then I use a little blue arrow, and then I'll back up and go to the SD card. And then underneath Data on the SD card, I can just hold it down and hit Paste. And then we'll just back everything up. Okay, so that backs up all the files, my Ascii files, DXF files, and then I'll probably just go back and physically delete these on the internal memory. Okay, so we'll close out of here. But before I do that, I'll go back to Leica Geosystems, Captivate, DBX. This is where all my jobs are. So once again, it's important to back them up. We'll hit Edit, select all. They'll turn blue, hold it down, copy, and then use the back arrow key in Windows to the SD card, and then go to DBX, and then I can right click and hit Paste. This will then back up all the jobs. So if you have a whole bunch of jobs, this is the fastest way to back them up. And if you have like over 50 jobs, it's easier to do it via Windows than via Captivate. Okay. So while it's doing that, we'll back up our settings as well. So if I go back to Captivate, what I'm going to do first is go down to Settings, Tools, Transfer Objects. And in here, I can go up to the top and transfer each one individually, or there's an all objects. And I can say from internal memory to SD card. In this case, I'll say do not transfer the jobs. This might take a while. If you have under 50 jobs, then you should be okay. But I just showed you how we did it in Windows. So this will speed it up. If you have a whole bunch of jobs and we're going to format internal memory, I transfer them using the Windows. We'll hit OK. And now all our objects will be the code lists, coordinate systems, server lists. Since we're uploading firmware, we're going to recreate our workstyles, but this will back up all our settings from the CS20 to the SD card. Okay, and it should just take a minute to back all these up.
Okay, so that's backed up. What we're going to do now is move on. Everything's backed up to the SD card. And what we're going to do now is go to the next section and we're going to format the CS20.
All right, we have a CS20 here. And it's just got a couple of jobs on here. I got an SD card. First thing to do is also a good idea to format the SD card. Just for the ease of use of filming, I'm just going to use an SD card to back up the data. You could use a USB. So I'm going to go to Settings, Tools, Format. And once again, this is where the new backup feature is if you're on version 8.3 or higher. I'm going to come up here and hit the SD card and then hit OK. Because sometimes SD cards, just use a Leica SD card or a SanDisk and format them on a regular basis at least once a month. Okay, so what we can do now is I've got a couple jobs here. What I'm going to do is take a quick look at some settings. So if I hit the star button, just to let you know, we have a work style in here. And right now we have a 1i max, 2 near, point-to-point, and base and static. So we're going to format, and then with this new feature, all this stuff will come back to set it back up to where we had it before. So what we're going to do right now is also take a look at some other settings. So I'm going to create a new job, and instead of writing everything down, I'm going to create a new job called 1.settings. Okay, and I'm going to screenshot all my settings. Okay, so hit store, and now that job's there. So if I click up here and go to server mount point, and there's my point-to-point. So if I hit, if we had like a SmartNet, I'll hit edit, and then page over to ntrip. I'm just not going to show you all my information, but I'm going to hit the function screenshot. That'll screenshot that information and store it. Okay. Then once again, I might want to just back up my APN. So go to Settings, Connections, all other connections, and this one's on the CS modem. So hit Control, and we run a DAC card. So once again, I hit Screenshot. Okay, store that. Okay. Don't link it to a point. And once again, we'll page over and make sure we're on 4G. Okay. Some clients are using FTP, so if you have settings, tools, and FTP information, right now mine's blank, but let's say you had some information in here. We can come in here and say, hey, screenshot the FTP information as well. Okay. All right, so everything's backed up to this job, and what I can do now is click on here and transfer that job to the SD card. Okay, so if I had a USB, that job would be in there. So if something ever happened, I got a screenshot of all my settings, just a CYA. Okay. Now, once again, we're going to format everything to delete jobs, but like we said earlier, if you're going to format, you can do that, once or twice a year. But it's very important if I hit the jobs button here, is I can come in here and just check multiple jobs and then hit delete to clean them out. This is a really easy way to quickly delete multiple jobs, okay, and keep the space and speed up the CS20, okay? All right, so we formatted the SD card, we backed up our screenshots of our settings. Now what we're going to do right now is we're going to come into the new feature. We'll hit Settings, Tools, Format, and there's a backup button here. If I hit Backup, it's going to back up all my coordinate systems, Workstyles, all that good stuff to the internal memory, okay? And then after we format it, it'll pull all this stuff back in. So right now we showed some Workstyles. We'll go back in and show you our code lists and coordinate systems and all that good stuff. Okay, so it says backup successful. And once again, that was new in version 8.3. So if I came in here, right now you can see I'm backed up to the SD card because I have a job with a little SD card icon. And then once again, if we come in and just take a look at what's on, so under our coordinate systems, there's a bunch of coordinate systems. So when we format it, these coordinate systems should come back in along with our code list. Okay? All right. So what we're going to do right now is we'd also want to back up our jobs. So later on, I'll show you how to back up our jobs. But just for the speed of the video right now, let's just go through and format everything. Okay? So we'll hit Settings, Tools, Format. And what I'm going to do is first I'm going to format System. It'll take a minute. Then it'll boot back up. I'll come in and then format internal memory. This will wipe out all the jobs. Okay? That's why we backed them up. And then what I'm going to do is after I've done that, I'll hold the power key down for a couple seconds. And then see it says Reset Hardware. And I'm going to reset the bottom one here, Reset Windows CE. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to reset everything, and then I'll come back in, and then we'll show you how to reload the original settings and Workstyles.
Okay, so let's take a quick look. I pull up on my hard drive. I've got this is my SD card. Going to DVX, and this is the job 1.settings. I was backed up. I only have one job. Open it up under Images. This is where we took our screenshots. So once again, we open this up. It'll show our username and password. Once again, you check this box before you screenshot it so you can see everything. And once again, we has our APN and all that good stuff. So I just want to show you how this is just a quick, easy way to CYA and just have everything backed up. Okay. And if you have the FTP, there's the information there. All right. Okay, let's go on to the next step. So we just formatted everything, and let's see where we are now at the CS20 after it's been formatted.
Okay, we just came back in. We just formatted the system RAM, internal memory to the Windows reset. We're in TPS mode, and unhit function instrument, and it defaults to both GS and TS, and I'm just going to put it back into GS mode for now. That's very important. And what we do right now is let's take a quick look. I'll go to Settings, Customization, Workstyle Wizard, and see it's default to the default. So if I hit Next, all the other ones should be listed. There they are. I'm just going to delete the default one. Okay, and then I'll pull in one IMAX. And let's just take a look at the settings and make sure everything comes across. Okay, so I'll load it back up. And just take a second here. Okay, all right. So if we come back in, we'll take a quick look up here. We'll hit server mount point, and there's all the server list we had before. Okay, so it's all in there. It's got the settings for IMAX, and once again, settings, connections, other connections, and everything's now embedded in that Workstyle. Okay, all right. Okay, now what we can do is I'll hit the measure screen, and if I'm in the survey screen, I'll hit function display, and then I normally uncheck the RTK base and I want to see the code. And one thing that's really important, if we escape out of here, is it'll see all my jobs are gone because we formatted. This is my backup job under 1.settings on the SD card. If we scroll back over here, this will be turned off. So if I tap here, choose design job, hit function, F1 settings, and we want to make sure we check that box there. And what that'll do is every time you go to stakeout, it'll prompt you for what control job you want to use. So that button wasn't selected. So I'll show you. If it went to the default setting here after formatting it, and that was unchecked. Let's take a look. If we go to stake points, it'll just automatically not prompt you for the stakeout job. And if you have multiple jobs and it's got the wrong job selected, it could be really frustrating. So let's just come in here, hit function settings, check that box, and then now when we go into stakeout, it'll prompt you for what your control job is. Okay. You can still go through and edit your work styles, maybe update your templates, your point ID templates, and a few other things. But for the long and short thing of everything, if I hit star, work style, all the hotkeys should be set up, and all the work styles should be set up. And you can see it's just a quick way of formatting it, flushing everything out, and if you just delete the default work style, you're back to where you were before. Okay. And once again, this will dramatically increase the speed and operation and efficiency of your CS20.
Okay, and once again, we like to format before we load firmware. So once again, the same procedure for your robot as we did here for your CS20. And if you do load firmware, make sure you got fully charged batteries. We should have a little license key. It's important to step it up one firmware version at a time. So in this previous example, we're on version 3, so have to step it up to 4, then 4 to 5, 5 to 6. And the current version is 9, so this is just a screen from an older presentation. But whether it's the TS16, 13, or CS20, just step it up with the Captivate versions one at a time. And each one takes around 20-25 minutes. So if you do have an older version, just be careful. It will take a little bit of time. And that's just a quick way of formatting CS20 and your robots. And once again, here's if you ever need any help, just reach out to our team in Houston. It's myself. John handles HDS and survey sales. Ronald in service. Stacy runs supplies and coordinates the service. And Logan and Ray also work in the icon construction. And once again, here's all our information. So here's our cell phone, email. So if you need any help, we're in the Houston area, here's our address. Feel free to stop on by. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you found this beneficial. And until next time, hope everything goes well.